This is one of the easier geometry questions. I like it. What is the volume of a cylinder with a height of 12 and a radius of 6 with a slice of 90 degrees removed?
Okay, I'm going to have you leave that question up there since there's a lot to make sure that I get on that one. The first thing is so we're finding the volume. Volume is a measurement of space. So three-dimensional space, how much space is in this shape. The next thing that's important to know is what kind of shape is it? And it's a cylinder, and a cylinder is important. It's important to know what that is. Cylinder is just like the shape of a pop can. That's kind of how I always remembered cylinder. It's a pop can or a jar or a shape like that where you have two circles on either end and then they are connected by almost straight lines. So I'm going to go ahead, if you can cut to my screen, I'll start with my drawings and then label my cylinder, and then we can go ahead and start finding the volume. So like I said, it's kind of like a pop can, and I apologize for my kind of rough drawing, but I'm going to do my very best here. So here's a cylinder. It's a very ugly pop can. Okay, so the specs of this cylinder, it was the height of 12. So my height is the measurement from the top to the bottom, basically to the floor. If that pop can were sitting on the table, it's the measurement of how tall is that pop can. So our height was 12, it didn't say what, so we're just going to have to say 12 units. And then the radius is 6 units. This is enough to help us find the volume. They were asking us for the volume with 90 degrees removed. Now, I'll get to that after, but first I want to get to the volume of it where we don't have anything removed. So to find the volume of a cylinder, you're going to find the area of the circle, so it'd be pi r squared, and then we multiply by the height. So it's the area of that circle, and then it's multiplied by the height because it happens that many times. So pi r squared height is the formula for our volume. So I'm going to say volume equals pi r squared times height. The next is we have 90 degrees removed. And when you think about a circle, so I'm drawing a picture of this circle, 90 degrees of that circle is going to be 1/4 of that circle. So it's this much is removed, 1/4. That means that the amount that we have left is 3/4. So if the amount we have left is 3/4, then we only want 3/4 of the volume of that whole thing. So what I'll do is I'll say volume equals 3/4 times pi r squared height. Because like I said, I only want 3/4 of that volume. Now what I can do is go ahead and plug in my numbers, replace all of my variables with their values, and then evaluate for that amount. So my radius is 6, so 6 squared times my height, which is 12. So I have 3/4 pi times 36 times 12, which I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know 36 times 12, but what I can do is use my fraction to multiply. So let's actually, I don't have a calculator here. Whitney, do you have a calculator handy? There we go. I got one real quick. Sorry. Large multiplication. 12, and we get 432, and then we need to find 3/4 of that, so we're just going to multiply by 3 and divide by 4. And what did we have? 324. Okay, so the volume is going to be 324 pi. And all I did from that second to last step to that last step is I just multiplied my numbers together, and I did it with a calculator because the numbers were large and I wanted to save time. However, I could have actually multiplied them out for you, but that's all I did from that step. Now, one thing that I do is when I'm finding volume or area, anything to do with circles, is I leave pi in my answer rather than actually multiplying that together. Because if you multiply it together, then you're just getting an approximate answer. If you leave it as 324 pi, then your answer is exactly what it equals. So this is the volume of that cylinder. I really liked that question. So hopefully that answer helped. And yeah, hopefully that helped.